there, Postal here. So today we're taking out, I figured, so there's going to be a mission soon for the LA-5 to earn a special pilot on that particular plane. And I figured, since I'm probably going to be posting a video on the LA-5 sometime later, well, let's post a video on a plane a little bit further down the tech line, right? LA-5 is Tier 6. This is your Tier 9 plane. This is the one plane on that line. It's kind of out of whack. Well, why is that? Well, it's highly maneuverable. Well, that's not out of whack. It's got mediocre altitude performance. Well, that's not out of whack. It's got two 30mm cannons. Well, that is pretty out of whack. This is the only actual plane on the Soviet lines that has two 30mm cannons. Clearly, you've seen that on a lot of other planes that are in the game. The Keys and the Swift, things of that nature. But it's definitely the only time you'll see it on a Soviet plane. So, what do we do with this particular plane? Well, we love this plane, is what we do. We get these 30mm on target, hopefully. And hopefully melt some HP away. There we go, good. Killed him before they were able to capture the sector. Hello, up and over we go. Rear gunner, of course, on an IL-40 is nothing to scoff at. My forward gunner on an La-160 is nothing to scoff at. And hopefully we're going to burn him down. Nope, he used a fire extinguisher, it looks like. But we've done some pretty good damage to him. Excellent. And you can do that in this plane. You've got the ability to take freaking chunks out of planes that you would not normally take chunks out of in a light fighter. Let's go ahead and boost up. Down low where we like to be in this plane, but this plane can certainly go up high. Excellent. Kill secure. That wasn't kill stealing. It was a bot that I took it from. Don't yell at me. Let's go ahead and let's see what other sectors we can capture, right? Our goal is definitely going to be to hang on to the center here. So that's going to be our top priority. It's always nice getting into a map that has a really useful center, because then on a plane like this, it's very good at owning centers. But what I like about the La-160 is it's also still good at capping sectors. These 30mm cannons can definitely help capture a sector or two or three.
Enemy objects damaged.
So we need to be mindful of all the shenanigans that's inbound here. Mainly humans, it looks like. P-80A. F-94D's nothing to be, scoff at either. Obviously. What do we got inbound here? The Yak-15, what are you doing? If you're up high, well, shoot. Try not to screw this up. Nope. F-94D is going to get us. Yep. Oh, SU-9 got us. That's hilarious. That just means we put ourselves in a bad position. Let's head back to the center. We took too long to do any damage there. Anyway. Jesus, just nothing but bombers and frickin' GAs in the center, huh? Let's head on out. Go, go, go. Go, go, gadget faster. We do have on our team a ground attack plane. They've got that F-94D and that P-80 that we took out earlier. Let's get to the center here. Okay, they've got both GAs down here, so I'll go down low. I was going to say I'll go up high. There's only one bomber and there's two ground attackers. So let's put ourselves where we'll be most impactful, quite literally. I'm going to go up and over because I don't want to die to whatever bomb this dude might have dropped. He didn't look to drop a bomb. That's not the point, though. You always assume. You never assume the opposite of that. Because then you're just setting yourself up for failure. Gonna turn ourselves around here. Doot, doot, doot. Excellent. Use our boostin'. Passive boosting, engaging. We're going to get up to this TU-10 if at all possible. And again, we're just doing what we need to win this game. I trust our human ground attack pilot to be able to do some sector capturing. Doesn't seem to be working out that way right now, but I've played with him before, so shoot! Freaking crazy bomber! So I know he is got the skill set to win the game. Let's go ahead and... well, let's do some more here, right? Still need to own the center, but let's try to be a pain in the ass to the enemies that we can be pains in the asses to. Oh man, his turning timing couldn't have been any better, right? And unfortunately we overheated. We got this P-80, and although we're not specialized, we should still be able to outmaneuver him. I guess it just matters what he set himself up for. Doesn't really matter, actually. We're able to take him out. The joy of 30mm cannons. If you get them to hit, they frickin' wreck faces, right? Let's get back to the center. Let's go, go, go. We ain't got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Crappity crap, people! That's the guy we actually want to try to kill just because he's on lower hit points. If we can get him before they capture the sector, that would be super swell. Taking bets, because I assume they're going to just cap it like right before I kill this guy. Ha ha! Son of a bitch. Okay. Well, I wasn't going to go after you, but if you want to keep turning, I guess I'll turn with you. Even with a broken wing, I'm more maneuverable than a frickin' F-94. I do not need to be messing around with that guy on full hit points. We're gonna hit the old F3 button here. And see what we can do. There's not a whole lot of aircraft in the center here. There certainly is a lot of frickin' anti-aircraft, that's for damn sure. Let's actually go for the lower of the two, simply because of my altitude performance in this plane. There's a heavy fighter below us. Let our guns cool down. Get him knocked out. Are we going to be able to pull this off? I don't quite know yet. We got to stay alive though before we can pull anything off. Okay. Thank you, sir. There we go. Cool story. Got a light fighter somewhere around us, but we can't really focus on that right now. Would be nice if my guns were hitting. They were hitting perfectly fine earlier. Now they need to hit. And of course they're not going to. Shoot, dude! What are we doing here? Well, everything can hit a pig. Alright, come on. Still have that light fighter to contend with. Just want to kill this guy. Thank you. Holy friggin' crap. Alright, what do we got against here? Yak 15, who can definitely outmaneuver us. But we can out-hit him. So awesome is that. We actually don't have a lot of players left, so I need hit points like it's nobody's business. Let's not go get ourselves stuck into a battle. Excellent. We're up 3 sectors to 2. They've got to come to us, so I'm actually going to hang out here. They've got to get this sector, right? We've got 2 F-94Ds and an XP-72, so 3 things I can easily outmaneuver. 2 of those things, though, can frickin' punch me in the face and make me regret my life choices. The XP-72 is not one of those. Then again, if I'm still caught flat-footed, he can still tear me up. And I don't have any kind of hit points to be messing around with him, so let's not head on him. Excellent. Where, I was going to say, where's this F-94D? There's one of them. Where's the other one, though?
Keep it up. Victory
Where is Das
belongs
Human?
to ours.
Oh, wow, he went all the way across the well, he was trying to be super sneaky, huh? He's somewhere over there, he is. He doesn't have a lot of hit points, so I can see why he's being super sneaky. But I mean, that's like the sneakiest of sneakies. Let's get rid of this guy. Excellent.
Almost all enemy aircraft are destroyed.
And let's get down to a better altitude. Oh, we've got him pretty well set up now. I doubt he even knows we're here. Excellent. And got our Cosa Dub, which you know I love to get. And got an ace! What? Oh my goodness. Well, alright, cool. I always like to get the ace. It's never something I expect to get. I always do push to try to get a Cosa Dub whenever I get the opportunity. So that was pretty nice. That all came together, didn't it? Alright, let's head on back. Alright, so we were able to get 21 frags there. I don't know why the ace popped up so late, if that was my 21st kill. Decent amount of air damage, yada yada yada. This map obviously was very well built for what I needed it to do. Which was, you know, had a center sector that was highly important. Even with me and Wham, like, getting personal points on top of personal points there, it was still a very, very close match, considering we weren't kicking too much butt when it came to frickin' points there, right? But my tactic was to, you know, hang around the center. And again, I knew that I had a human, good human GA pilot on my team, and so I was trusting in the end result. Luckily, it came to fruition there. Sometimes you got to do that. What I like about the La-160 though is you do have the ability to hit hard, and so in that manner you can actually help flip sectors. On paper, this plane isn't all that like stellarly awesome, right? But in practice, it can be incredibly, incredibly good. Now, keep in mind, my setup here is non-specialized. And I'll give some examples of why I'm doing it. So you've got these two 30mm cannons, La-15, yada yada yada. Afterwards, which is one of the best tier 10 heavy planes. Oh my god, tier 10 fighters in the game. And so even if you don't necessarily like this plane, you're definitely going to like the tier 10. But I'm going to give you some tips here to make the La-160 shine for you. First and foremost, I set this thing up for maneuverability. So the La-160, believe it or not, is not the most maneuverable thing at Tier 9. I mean, there's a handful of planes that are more maneuverable. The Yak-19 comes to mind. Heck, even the Ki-162 Mark I is more maneuverable, only barely. So I've actually set mine up for maneuverability. The airspeed is still significant on this plane, especially the boost ability, something you'll certainly notice. I've actually set this plane up on the equipment with the improved G-suit. Now hear me out. And I'm not saying this is for everybody. I'm able to, I'm used to 30mm cannons, especially double ones. These are pretty narrowly set. They're not like widely separated, so I don't feel like I miss nearly as much as I do in something that has them a little bit more wider set. And so I've experimented with the improved G-suit to get even more maneuverability with when I'm in high speeds. I'm comfortable with that, but I can completely understand why you go with something like the sight. Anything else, honestly, on this plane would be a waste. Either the G-suit, if you were comfortable with the accuracy, or go with the sight for improved accuracy. I've gone ahead and put on my airframe the lightweight wing frame and the lightweight power unit. You could swap either one of these out for something that adds speed. It's really up to you, but you want at least one of these maneuverability items on your equipment to start off with. Once I specialize it, I'll be putting on the uprated engine for sure. I'm not 100% on my airframe if I'm going to be going with polished skin or not, because polished skin takes away from maneuverability. I suspect if I've got like some sort of special polished skin, experimental polished skin or something crazy like that, I will mess around with that. But the polished skin is probably going to be your best bet here. You don't get the wings knocked out all that often, although I did get them knocked out a couple times in this particular battle. So reinforced skin could be a possibility. Reinforced airframe would be a waste on this plane. But in reality, I'm probably going to go with polished skin. For consumables, you're a light fighter. You need to put your first aid dressing on here. This plane doesn't catch on fire all that often, which is kind of nice for a Soviet plane. So you definitely don't need the firefighter consumable here. Fire extinguisher, excuse me. But even if it did, on a light fighter, I've mentioned this before, you don't want to use that for your you don't want to use a fire item for your consumable. You want to put a firefighter on your skill point for a plane that tends to catch on fire. Reason being is if you're in up one of those planes, so the Yaks, the Zeros, those are the ones, the light fighters that typically catch on fire. You're typically maneuvering anyway, and so if you're actively maneuvering, you're going to be putting your fire out if you've got the firefighter skill, so keep that in mind. So I guess we're done here. I've put engine cooling on. I guess we're not done here. I put engine cooling on and pneumatic control assist. Again, just if I need additional maneuverability, I'll go ahead and do that. Also, sometimes if my wing's knocked out, I'll just put in pneumatic control assist. If I need, if I'm in a dogfight and my wing gets knocked out, I'll use pneumatic control assist to kind of counter that a little bit. And engine cooling, I just go with engine cooling because I like that extra boost from time to time. If this had a second slot, I would definitely do the improved fuel mixture, whatever it's called. But it's not, so this is the one I go with. As far as the second item on the airframe consumable is concerned, again, this plane doesn't really catch on fire that much, so the increased fire resistance isn't really worth it, so I'm sure I'll just go with the control system on here. And as I always recommend, universal ammo. Universal ammo is very helpful, or at least helpful enough that it's worth the additional silver. Whether you have a premium account, which I'm lucky enough to have, or not, the universal ammo is typically worth it in my humble opinion. As far as skill points is concerned, I've put aerodynamics expert on here only because I've got 2 items that help maneuverability and speed. And so that's when the aerodynamics expert, in my opinion, is worth it, is at least 2 equipment items that help aerodynamics and speed. If you've got that and you want to do aerodynamics expert, that's fine. It's not a necessity by any means. If you've got 3 items for airframe and engine, aerodynamics expert really comes into its own. The La-160 will eventually have 4 items that helps its its maneuverability and speed. So it's definitely going to be worth it once this plane's specialized. You can skip it to start off, though. You definitely want to go with Marksman 1 first and foremost, 100%. Whatever you do with your points after Marksman 1 is up to you. Marksman 1 is a necessity on this plane, and really on any plane that has 2 30mm cannons. After this, I would recommend going with the aerodynamics expert, but I could see somebody grinding to try to get their 3rd point and get Marksman 2, or their 5th point, I should say, and get Marksman 2. Personally, like I said, I'm comfortable with the setup on this plane, and so I'm not going to be going to Marksman 2 for my next item. I'm actually going to be going with aerobatics expert, probably. We'll kind of see where we go from there. Eventually, I will definitely be getting engine gurus on here and filling out my Marksman 2. I mean, keep in mind, these 4 items right here take 10 freaking points. Adding this on here, plus this has 14 points. And then I'll have 1, which I guess I might put on Firefighter, which I guess I will put on Firefighter. I could maybe put Eagle Eye. But anyway, that's talking like the 15 point. I don't have any 15-point pilots, so that's like, months and months down the road. Maybe years, considering how I tend to play like a million different planes. I am not... partly because, I'm trying to post a different video every day, 5 times a week. So I don't get the opportunity to just sit down and play an La-160 for 10 hours straight. And partly because I'd probably get bored if I was playing any plane for 10 hours straight. I can't do that. So it's probably going to take me a very long time to ever get a 15-point pilot in this game, but we'll see. That would be my recommendations for your points on the La-160 to help maximize your punching ability and your viability in the game. So I really, really enjoy the La-160. I know a lot of people that don't. And I hope this gameplay, my thought process kind of helps putting the La-160 in a good spot. I hope the setup that I've got on this plane will help players that are trying to grind through this plane, or maybe players that are thinking about buying it back. My LA-15 pilot it used to be my LA-160 pilot, so I used to have a really good pilot on the LA-160. I now only have a 4-point pilot, but I can still make this plane shine, and I believe you can too, with some diligence, if you're not already, right? All right, well, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this. I'll continue posting, and I will catch you all later. Bye.